Hello dears, welcome back to one another video class in English. This time we shall discuss the lesson Princess September by Somerset Maugham, which revolves around the youngest daughter of the king and queen of Siam named September. It all begins when her parrot dies and a singing bird comes in its place. Her sisters then provoke her to lock the free bird in a cage if she did not want to lose him. Let us discuss what happens later. Let's move to the detailed explanation of the lesson. The king and queen of Siam, that means the present day Thailand, had many daughters that the queen found it difficult to remember all their names. So, to make it easier for her, the king began calling them January, February, March in this particular order till they named their youngest daughter September. These names were, of course, in Siamese, that means the Thai language. The king of Siam had a very strange habit. Each year, on his birthday, he would give away gifts instead of receiving them. On one such birthday of his, he did not have anything else readily available. So, he gifted each of his daughters a green parrot in a golden cage. The princes were very glad about their parrots and spent an hour every day making them learn how to talk. All of their parrots could say, "God save the king," and some of them could say, "Pretty Polly," in almost 7 different Oriental languages. Here, Oriental means the language of the East. And here that phrase, Pretty Polly, that means God save the king. That's the meaning of the term Pretty Polly. God save the king. One fine day, when Princess September went to see her parrot and wish him good morning, she discovered her parrot lying lifeless at the bottom of the cage. Upon seeing it, she began crying, and nothing her maids of honor said eased her grief. She was crying so miserably that the maids of honor took the matter to the queen. The queen said that it was stuff and nonsense, and her child simply needed to rest. So she advised them to put her to bed without any supper. The maids of honor were supposed to go to a party, so they tucked Princess September in her bed as fast as possible and left her home. The princess lay in her bed awake. She was crying even if she felt hungry. Suddenly, she saw a little bird jump into her room and she wiped away her tears to see him. She sat as the little bird sang a melodious song all about the lake in the king's garden. The willow trees peeped at their reflection in the lake water, while the goldfish moved smoothly in and out of the branches that were reflecting themselves in the water. As the birds stopped singing, the princess was not weeping anymore. She forgot that she was hungry. Princess September appreciated the song and told the bird that it was very nice. The bird bowed down and asked the princess if she would like to have him in place of the parrot. He confessed that he knows he is not as pretty as the parrot, but he can surely sing more beautifully. Princess September got excited and she clapped her hands in delight. The little bird hopped on to one side of her bed and sang till she fell asleep. The bird was still there when she woke up the next day. He even wished her good morning when she opened her eyes. The maids of honor brought in her breakfast, and Princess September fed the little bird rice with her hands. She even bathed him in her saucer. After this, he started singing again, and his beautiful voice left the maids of honor were amazed because never in their lives had they heard such a melodious voice. This made Princess September very glad and she was proud of him. Thus expressed her desire to show the little bird to her 8 other sisters. She extended the forefinger of her right hand to make a perch of it and allowed the little bird to sit on her finger. She went everywhere in the palace to call out her sisters, and the maids of honor followed her everywhere. The bird sang a different song for each one of them. The parrots, on the other hand, could only say pretty Polly, which means God save the king. When she showed the bird to the king and the queen, it made them very happy. The queen felt it was the right decision to send her to sleep without feeding her supper. The king was elated on seeing that the bird could sing way better than the parrots. The queen expressed that she should have thought about how tired the king would have gotten upon hearing the same words, God save the king, by so many people. It was hard for her to understand why their daughters taught the parrots to say so. The king, on the other hand, finds the emotion behind it appreciable. He doesn't mind how often he hears it. However, he does mention that hearing Pretty Polly often tires him. The princess instantly mentioned and said that their parrots can say it in 7 different languages. The king did not have a single doubt about the capability of the parrots to say it in 7 different languages, but it jogged in his memory into thinking about his counselors who would say the same thing in 7 different ways, and it did not make sense in even one of the way they said it. Upon hearing this, the princess got annoyed and the parrots got depressed. Princess September, on the other hand, roamed all around the palace, visiting all the rooms while she sang like a lark, and the bird flew round and round her. The bird, on the other hand, sang like a nightingale. For several days, the situation in the palace remained somewhat like this only. The other 8 princes thought about it and they strategized. They went to see Princess September and sat around her in a circle. They expressed their grief over the death of the poor September's parrot. They said that she must be feeling terrible for not having a pet bird like all her sisters. They told her that they have pulled their pocket money to be able to buy her a lovely green and yellow parrot. Princess September found their offer of no use and thus she said, "Thank you for nothing." She further added that she does have a pet bird who sings the most beautiful and melodious songs for her. In fact, she did not know what she would do with a green and yellow parrot. The other sisters suggested that it was absurd to talk about her little bird when he comes and goes as he likes. They looked after the room to find him, and when they couldn't, they asked September about his whereabouts. Princess September told them that he has gone to visit his father-in-law. The other 8 tried to fill September's mind with doubt and asked her what, according to her, will it come back. Princess September was so sure that he would come back because he always does. They tried to advise her upon not taking any risk like that. They told her to lock him and keep him in a cage if he ever comes back. They specifically mentioned that she would be very lucky if he does, and the only way she can be sure of his possession is by putting him in a cage. Princess September expressed her concern and tells her sisters that she likes to have him fly around the room. They left the room as they shook her heads, leaving Princess September alone and feeling uneasy.